All right, hello Scorpio. Welcome to your 2026 or June 2026 tarot reading. We'll go ahead and just pull some cards, give it a good shuffle here, and see what comes up. So, first card we have here is the Hermit. Oops, my camera's way down here. Sorry about that. Judgment. The World. Wow, we're getting all major arcana so far. Okay, the Six of Cups and the Knight of Swords. All right. So the hermit can be a little bittersweet because it can often represent some level of isolation, maybe socially, and it's a time where you really learn the most. So you're kind of gaining some wisdom here and need to be in a space where you are unaffected by the outside world, by other people's belief systems, other people's ideas about what you should or should not do. It's just you're really kind of having to pull from an inner resource to kind of make a decision or come to some kind of realization on your own without the help of others. And you're definitely going through a sort of like a transformation process. You're maybe you've come to a significant crossroads at some point in your life recently where you realize that there was a definite need for a change, that there's been a pattern, a significant pattern and cycle that's been going on in your life with the world here that you recognize may be from your childhood. You know, the Six of Cups tends to have to do with healing the past more often than not, or maybe it has to do with children if you have children. Um, but with the Judgment card, it's kind of out of your hands. The Judgment card is kind of like you're going to go through this regardless of what you do, whether you try to stop it or go along with it, or you like it or you don't like it. Like there is like a higher force kind of making you do this, putting you to this state of sort of isolation and introspection, so that you can come to understand this cycle that's been going on within you. You can pull more cards, and maybe it'll tell us more about what that cycle may be. Um, Chances are you probably already know. Um, and with the Knight of Swords, this usually recommends, moving forward into the unknown and not being afraid, because, doing this sort of deep inner work and changing significant patterns is kind of by definition going into the unknown, which is kind of always scary, right? It's the unfamiliar. But the good news is that that means that whatever you're trying to work through right now, like could very well potentially lead to a very life-changing shift in your circumstances, in your perspective, in your relationships. Like you're really maybe just taking seriously this idea that there are things going on inside of you that have caused you problems in the past, and it is really time to figure it out and work it out. Let's see, we'll pull some more cards and see what more information we can get here. All right, let's do one more shuffle. All right, so we have the Fool. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. All right, so there's a chance that maybe in the past you've had a tendency maybe to over rely on others in some places, not really like on purpose. You weren't like trying to, use anyone else's resources or anything like that, but there's just like maybe you didn't even really notice that another person or another party in your life was kind of had a little too much power over your circumstances, a little much too much control. And maybe this has led to some of the issues that you are realizing that need to be healed or change. Whether maybe you relied on a partner for like who to make most of the money or something, just as a random example, and you're realizing that over reliance like puts too much power in their hands, and then maybe makes you feel like you need to stay in situations you don't want to be in because they kind of hold all the power, or it causes you to act in ways that you don't necessarily want to act in, but you feel like you have to in order to please this person who's got kind of their hands on the reins here, and maybe leads to conflict in some cases. you know it's like just I just get the sense of like being too close to another person or group of people, and realizing that that is actually a source of contention and maybe a pattern of conflict in your life that you are now ready to walk away from. But it's not as it's not an immediate overnight kind of situation. Maybe it's not something where you can just make a snap decision and then boom, it's over. It's a process. But I think that might be sort of the main gist of what we're getting at here. And we're only 5 minutes in. We can pull some more cards here. All right. Okay. All right. So we've got the Knight of Swords again. Six of Cups again. The Ace of Wands. The Ten of Wands. And the Tower. So it looks like through this process of healing and trying to change patterns, and you end up sort of knocking loose some pretty significant energy. Maybe you may be a little bit shocked to find just how intense the feeling of that energy that may be perpetuating whatever this particular pattern may be, to be surprisingly powerful, and it feels almost like an energetic overload. You know, it's like your nervous system, it might feel like it's having trouble processing all of this old emotional energy that's built up behind this pattern, and ultimately leads to, every significant breakthrough has its consequent breakdown, or usually it's the breakdown comes before the breakthrough. But that's just this energy leaving your system and clearing out. So mainly, it's kind of just saying, keep going forward with this process, even if you don't know where it's going, even if you feel like making this change is going to be kind of scary, or you feel like emotionally overwhelmed and like that energy is kind of processing out, making you feel kind of, ugh. The main thing is to just keep going and recognize that, emotional release will likely come from this, and that it's not a bad thing. It might feel a little uncomfortable, but it's ultimately good and can lead to a significant change in your life, moving forward into a new space that you may not have expected. So, I think we're going to leave it there. I don't want to go too long. Going to keep this round of videos pretty short, but if you're interested in private readings or want to learn about the meanings of the cards or the signs or planets, check out my website down below. Hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.